Welcome back. In this video, we are going to hack our target and we are going to perform our first exploit and we are going to hack our Metasploit mission. So this is my Metasploit mission and it's up and running. We are going to apply all the knowledge that we have learned in the previous videos, and in this part we are going to exploit our target and put all the knowledge that we have learned for this exploit. And as I've said, I'm going to attack our Metasploit mission. Before I start the exploit, first I'm going to do an nmap scan. I'm going to scan my Metasploit. So just type sudo nmap and I'm going to do a version scan for the service. Just type sudo nmap sv and the Metasploit IP address. So let me find out my Metasploit IP address. Type if config and this is my IP address, and let me get back to my Kali Linux mission and I'm gonna enter my Metasploit IP address, which is 192.168.88.248. I'm gonna type in my password and wait for it to finish the scanning and just give it a minute. Okay, it's done. So we are already familiar with this output, and for this video we are going to start it with the order, but first let's start with this FTP right here. And I know the best result that we can do is we can search it online and try to see its vulnerability for this vsFTP version and look for vulnerability, but personally I would choose searchsploit. So I'm gonna open a new terminal here and let me zoom in and I'm gonna type search exploit and then the version name of this vulnerability, which is right here. I'm gonna copy it and paste it right here, and I'm gonna press enter, and it managed to find vulnerabilities within this version. For the FTP, we can see that we got results here, the titles right here, and the path. For this a particular exploit, I'm going to choose this one right here, since this is the exact version of that vulnerability. And one important thing that we have to notice is this path right here. It says Unix remote 1749.ruby, and this RB is a Ruby language extension. And what does this mean? This means that it probably belongs to the Metasploit, and of course it belongs to the Metasploit right here, and it tells us right here. So let's go ahead and try to look it in the Metasploit framework and try to look it in this exploits. Of course we're not going to open exploits and search it one by one. What we can do is type search and then the service name. I'm gonna paste it here. Here we got an exploit for the Unix of the FTP, which is the vsFTPd 2.3.4, and it has backdoor, and its disclosure date is 2011 July 3rd, and its rank tells us that excellent, and this tells us that an exploit is possible and we can run a shell. And we can see as description it has a backdoor command execution, and this tells us that we can have a command shell after we exploit it. But to use it and see what this particular exploit does, just type use and then the exploit's name. So I'm gonna copy it and paste it right here. I'm gonna press enter, and we successfully got into the exploit for the particular version for the Metasploit mission. And to see this full information of this exploit, just type show info. You can see all its basic options, and its description says this module exploits a malicious backdoor that was added to the vsFTPd download archive. This backdoor was introduced into the vsFTPd 2.3.4 between June 30th, 2011 and July 1st, 2011, according to the most recent information. And to see its original information, you can refer to these links right here. And the next command that we have to check is the show options, and just type show options. In this part, we have to set up our configuration for the exploit to work. We got the rhost right here, which is for the remote host, and it's of course required. And in the previous video, as I've said, the targets can be hosted, and to see its full reference, you can check this link. The setup for the host is our Metasploit missions IP address. So set our hosts to 192.168.88.248. I think I typed the wrong number. Just enter our Metasploit IP address. I'm gonna press enter here, and we can see the our port is 2-in-1, which is the remote port, and of course it's 2-in-1, and we shouldn't change that because if we go back to the nmap scan, we can see that the port is 2-in-1 in which our target mission is listening, so we don't need to change this one. The only thing that we need to change is this one and configure it. So let's see if we set it to the correct ones. I'm gonna type show options, and we can see right here that we got the correct IP address of our Metasploit mission, and we also see the payload, which is the CMD Unix Interact. And let's try to see what payloads we have, and type show payloads, and we only got one payload right here, which is the CMD Unix Interact, and its description says it's Unix command and interact with established connection, and this tells us that we can run a command shell after we exploit it. And just to make sure one last time, let's see its setup, and type show options. Let's make sure this is the correct one. Of course, it's the correct IP address of our Metasploit mission, and the payload option is this one, and we only have one available payload for this particular exploit. After you have set up all your configuration, you just have to run the exploit. So to run it, just type exploit and it will exploit. Okay, it managed found shell. This is a good thing. Great. Command shell session, open it for this particular target, which is our Metasploitable, and it's listening in our Kali Linux mission, and IP address is right here. Of course, we didn't get any output here, but I know that for sure we got our command shell option. How do I know this? If I type ls here, this directories that we got here is not of our Kali Linux mission, but it is of our Metasploit. So it is opened in our Metasploit mission. And if I type pwd, it is in the root. And if I type who am I, it is root. This is a great thing. Not, of course, we managed to exploit it. We also escalated our privilege and got a root account. So this is a great thing. And to make sure that we are in the target mission, I'm going to show you with sudo if config. As you can see here, we got the same IP address of our Metasploit mission. And let me get back to my Metasploit. As you can see, these are the same address of our Metasploit. Let me show you one thing. If I create a directory here and type ls, we can also see we got the test directory here. And if I go to my Metasploit mission and type ls here, if I change to root and type ls, we can see that we got our directory test that we created in our Kali Linux mission, in which it opened a successful shell on the target mission. And to exit from this, you can just type exit, and it would say command shell session 1 closed. Okay, great. We have done our first exploit on a target mission, and in the next video we will see another exploits on much harder targets. So see you there.